nights, truths on the run. Buried secrets were the ones who dig them up for fun. Headstones in the graveyard where stories reside. We bring back headlines, no place to hide. Try to cover it, but we'll find the trace. Shadows and whispers, no escape from this place. Headstones and headlines, where the truth collides. We'll expose the lies. There's no red eye. From the dirt to the red, we'll make it clear. True crime uncovered, it's why we're here. The headline tells a tale of destiny. From the grave to the page, the truth reads. Cold cases, long leads, nothing gets by. We turn the stones, leave no questions why. You can run, but we're hard on the trail. Every secret's revealed, no matter how stale. Headstones and headlines, where the truth collides. We'll expose the lies. There's no red eye. From the dirt to the red, we'll make it clear. True crime uncovered, it's why we're here. In the dark of the night, we bring it to light. Every crime, every lie, every fight. No stone left unturned, no truth left unsaid. We write the headlines from the graves of the dead. Headstones and headlines, where the truth collides. We'll expose the lies. There's no red eye. From the dirt to the red, we'll make it clear. True crime uncovered, it's why we're here. Headstones and headlines, where the stories remain. We dig them up, we feel their pain. The truth is out, the case is closed, but our search for justice never slows.
Hey everyone, happy Friday. I hope everyone had a good week. I am glad that my week is over. We made it through 5 days of work. Last week was 4 days, but only 2 days with students. And then this week we had a full week of students. And I'm just very glad that my week is over. Today was a really good day at work, actually. It was calm. It was calm, which is really always a good thing. Always a good thing. So thanks everyone for being here. Grandma Sherry, thanks for stopping in. Evil Queen, Sinner, Darcy, Georgia Peach, Victoria, good to see you. Ava. Yeah, exactly, Georgia Peach. Amen. It is Friday. It is Friday. And it seems like everyone is getting sick. So now that all of us, all us teachers, the staff, administrators, students are all together, people are getting sick. I felt weird today. I don't know how to describe it except for weird. So I was like, I'm going to go in. It's too early to call out. So I'll go in and see how I feel. And if I have to leave early, I'll leave early. But I did make it through the day, and I did end up feeling better as the day went on. So, hey, Team Serena. Nice to see you. Phyllis, thanks for being here. So we had our Wordsy Wednesday a couple of days ago, and then I think I went live. Did I go live Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday I went live about Bullhorn Betty. So I feel like I haven't been live, even though it's only been a day. I took yesterday off, but there's so many stories going on, so many stories. And I tried to find a short clip about Elijah Vu, who was a little boy who went missing several months ago. And sadly, a hunter had discovered human remains, and those remains were confirmed to be Elijah Vu. So very sad news. I just hope that, at this point, his family can start to heal or find some type of closure. I've never had children. I've never lost a child. So I don't know what that feels like or what they must be going through, but I hope that it gives them some solace. So lots of other updates. We had talked about the Quadruple. Actually, let me back up. In Irondequoit, New York, which is north of Rochester, there was a call for a fire. And when first responders arrived, as they were clearing the home and getting the fires, there were several fires set throughout the home. When they got to the basement, they discovered two children and two adults deceased. They knew immediately that the deaths were not caused by the fire, but instead they opened a homicide investigation. There was an arrest in the case, police announced today, and learning about the suspect, this did not have to happen. Let's just say that. We'll get into it, but it's definitely a story that angers me. And at this point, there's not a whole lot being released, but the guy who did it is a dangerous, dangerous person. And I'm very glad that they were able to find him and put him in jail for now. Put him in jail. Hey, Evil Queen, cooking dinner and listening. What's for dinner? I wanted McDonald's for dinner, but the app would not work. So I'm like, well, maybe it's my phone. Because sometimes, like I'm out in the sticks, we have spotty service. In certain places, it's like a dead zone. So I tried Burger King. Burger King app was working fine. So long story short, I didn't get McDonald's. I ended up eating here, and I just made a peanut butter sandwich and had two mozzarella string cheese. Not the greatest, not McDonald's, but a lot less calories and a lot better for me. So we have that first story. Sorry about that tangent. About the Irondequoit arrest in that quadruple homicide. There was some updates with the Appalachee school shooting, and I had planned on doing a live with the FBI visit to the Cole Gray's home in regards to a threat that was reported on Discord. just didn't get to it. So I do have a quick clip that kind of goes over that in not the whole thing, but in a little bit. And then there was an update from the sheriff with new details that I did listen to about 30 seconds of, and it's hard to hear. It's hard to hear. There are also updates. We had gone over the story of the baby, the 1-year-old baby who was found in the road because she was allegedly either tossed out of the car or fell out of the car. It has been determined that she was deliberately pushed out of the car. And when you hear why this little baby was pushed out of the car, it will make you very mad. And this woman should never get this child back again. I hope she goes to prison. She won't go to prison for a long time, but she is a convicted felon from previous charges. So hopefully she'll get a little bit more time, because she does not deserve in any regard to have her daughter back. And then we have a few more stories that are just not any that we've covered before. And as always, I will have a feel-good story at the end. And it's not necessarily a news story, but it popped up in my feed. And the title was "Baby Porcupine Throws a Tantrum, Falls Off Deck." And I was like, what? So I watched it. And this baby porcupine is so freaking cute. It's going to be, I just have watched it several times. Georgia Peach, I would agree that it could be attempted murder. I have not watched the second. I have 2 clips about that mom. I have not watched the second clip, but as of now, they are charging her with, I believe it was, I don't know the exact charge, but something to do with child abuse, child neglect. And I don't think there were others. I could be wrong. But she's not being charged with attempted murder. I definitely know that for a fact. And she should. Well, when you hear it, it's and in the story of that mom who her baby fell into the road, there was someone in the car with the mom who went to police and told them exactly what happened. So kudos to that person for, telling the truth, because this little baby could have died. And she was visibly injured, whether it be, in shock, or she was very limp when the witness was able to get her out of the road. So we're going to get started. So the first thing again is the story from Irondequoit, New York, which is north of Rochester.
A search for suspects is now underway after a week.
And so this is a clip from when it first happened. It was about a week and a half ago, maybe a little bit longer. So this was when it first happened, just to kind of give us a summary of the case itself.
Weekend house fire quickly turned into a homicide investigation. Irondequoit police have confirmed a mother, father, and 2 small children were found dead inside their home Saturday. The police chief calls this the worst he's ever seen. Natalie Kutchko heard from investigators on this tragic case today. She joins us now live in the studio with what we know so far. Natalie.
Yeah, Teresa, investigators have spent the entire weekend not giving up to process the scene and also comb through extensive evidence at the family's Irondequoit home. As mentioned, a mom, dad, and their 2 small kids, ages 2 and 4, were found.
And so I remember that when we watched the press conference with law enforcement, obviously anyone would be visibly shaken when children are injured, let alone their lives are taken. And I remember him saying, adults have their own beef. What happens to adults happen to adults. But when you take the lives of children, that's a special kind of evil. And that's not verbatim. That's just how I interpreted what he said. And that will resonate with me because it is so true. A 2-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Dead in the basement. The police chief says the pursuit to find those responsible is only beginning.
When you murder innocent children, there's no excuse for it.
A clear message from Irondequoit Police Chief Scott Peters, the chief fighting back tears, identifying the 4 victims, a family murdered at their home on Knapp Avenue early Saturday morning. 30-year-old Freme Ubaldo, 26-year-old Marangeli Moreno Santiago, and their 2 children, 4-year-old Evangeline Ubaldo Moreno and 2-year-old Sebastian Ubaldo Moreno, were found dead in the basement of their home by firefighters on scene.
Due to the condition of the bodies, it was readily apparent that this was going to be a homicide investigation. We took 2 days to make sure that we methodically cleared that location. The fire did not help, but it didn't hinder us. We wanted to make sure that we went floor to floor and didn't miss any piece of information that needed to be collected to ultimately bring these monsters to justice.
And so one person has been arrested. They are still investigating to determine if there are more. And it is, I believe, just based on what I know, that them being able to find this person was an amazing feat, because it was a man from the Dominican Republic who came to, he went to Puerto Rico, was able to get fake identification papers, fake New York identification, and ultimately end up in upstate New York. So I'm not sure. I haven't listened to the second clip with the arrest. I'm not sure if his real name was on the papers or if it was a fake name on the papers. Either way, this man should have never been in this country. And to boot, he's wanted in the Dominican Republic for a 2019 homicide.
Police say the family purchased the home in the last few years, the parents showing no criminal history or suspicious calls to the residents. What is typically a quiet neighborhood has been shaken with grief.
We were heartbroken. Our hearts go out to the families, go out to their friends, go out to the neighbors for suffering through this horrific event. And we will not stop until justice is served.
As the investigation continues to identify and hold the suspects accountable, Chief Peters says in his more than 30-year career in law enforcement, this case is unlike anything he's ever seen.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen. I'll remember it for life. Simple as that. Just looking at the condition of the bodies, you can tell that it was, these were not wounds consistent with, the bodies didn't have damage to them consistent with being in a fire. Mom was being a mom, protecting her children. Dad, I can't say, but nobody should ever be able to do this or be able to think that they could do that to a child. So let's just leave it at that.
While the police chief says he does believe this was a targeted case, he is unable to clarify a clear motive at this time or a connection right now between the victims and the suspects. A cause of the fire and cause of deaths are all still being worked out. And as the number of suspects is unknown to police at this time, they ask anyone with information that could help in their investigation to please contact the Irondequoit Police Department. That number right there on your screen, 585 855-336-6000. Reporting in studio, Natalie Kutchko, News 8.
Okay. So the second clip is short, and then we do have an article from Newsweek that talks a little bit more about the suspect in this case.
Finally, an arrest in this case of the Irondequoit family found dead in their basement 2 weeks ago, parents and 2 young kids. Now, along with this update, we now know what police have to say about their continued search for other suspects also in connection to these murders. Right now, we know police believe that 34-year-old Julio Cesar Pimentel Soriano is responsible for killing 30-year-old Fraime Ubaldo, 26-year-old Marangele Moreno Santiago, and their 2 children, 4-year-old Evangeline Ubaldo Moreno and 2-year-old Sebastian Ubaldo Moreno. All of their bodies were discovered August 31st when crews were called to Knapp Avenue in Irondequoit over reports of a fire. We are told Soriano is originally from the Dominican Republic, believed to be wanted in that country for a completely separate murder in 2019. Investigators say Soriano entered the Puerto Rican area illegally when he obtained fake New York ID papers, which he then used to freely travel into our state. Soriano arraigned last week, currently being held in county jail, and the investigation is ongoing. As we mentioned, police tell us they are still searching for additional suspects. We'll keep you updated as we stay on top of this horrific quadruple murder case.
So and I'm curious how close he may have lived to the family. Okay, give me. Or how he knew the family. As the, law enforcement said, the chief said, they believed it was targeted. So why them? So this article is from Newsweek, and they actually do have a photo of the suspect. And this was updated about 2 hours ago. So migrant with fake New York ID suspected of murdering family of 4. A Dominican man is suspected of murdering a family in their home in New York State after arriving in the country illegally and obtaining a fake ID. The bodies of 2 adults and 2 children were found inside a burning home in Irondequoit near Rochester on August 31st. It took almost 2 days to assess the scene and identify those killed. Fraime Ubaldo, 30, Marangele Moreno Santiago, 26, and their children Evangeline and Sebastian, ages 4 and 2, were all declared deceased by emergency responders. This was a horrific scene. In almost 32 years of doing this job, I've never seen anything like it, Irondequoit Police Chief Scott Peters said. On Friday, the Irondequoit Police Department said it had made an arrest on September 7th and had subsequently charged Julio Cesar Pimentel Soriano, 34, with 4 counts of first-degree murder. That's interesting because another article I had read, an earlier article, had said second-degree murder. And I thought, why would it be second degree? He clearly, allegedly, he clearly wanted to cover up what had happened. Why wouldn't it be first degree? So I'm very glad to see that it seems the charges are indeed first degree and not second degree, as was reported in a different outlet. Hey, Gina, how are you? The Dominican man was believed to have entered the United States illegally through Puerto Rico and obtained a fraudulent New York State ID, which allowed him to access the mainland. Newsweek reached out to Immigration and Customs Enforcement via email for comment on Friday afternoon. And here is a photo of this dude. And it does state that he is a known fugitive from the Dominican Republic. Soriano is wanted for another murder in the Dominican Republic in 2019 and is listed as a fugitive by the Dominican Republic National Police. ICE often steps in criminal cases involving illegal immigrants seeking to take custody once released by local law enforcement. Chief Peters said on September 2nd that limited information could be released on the manner of the family's deaths, but said multiple fires were set in the home to potentially cover up the deaths. When you murder innocent children, there is no excuse for it. The chief said he could not state whether the attack was targeted or random, but he told reporters that the home was on a quiet street with few reported problems. So that was on September 2nd. The news clip we had watched, which was from today, had said that they believe it was a targeted attack. So it could be, or it could be also random, based on what the chief said a week ago. Well, almost 2 weeks ago, actually. Officials said the call for the house fire came in around 5:20 a.m. Eastern Time, and crews arrived within minutes. Firefighters immediately began to search. They started where we would most likely find victims in a house fire, in bedrooms, sleeping presumably. They searched the second floor, searched the first floor, and found some different fires throughout the building, and ultimately found the deceased victims in the basement. Police said Friday that they were still limited in what they could say on the case, as it was an active investigation. And I'm going to Google this guy. Let's see. Julio. Ooh. Because he should, if he's wanted in the Dominican. I thought maybe they would have like, let's see, what was that called? Dominican Republic National Police. All right, so I'm not seeing anything from them directly, but I was curious as to what the circumstance was in relation to that case. But here we have another person in this country illegally who just took the lives of 4 people. It's really sad. Hey, note to self, do you have an iPhone or an Android? Because that will... Yep, but I think the iPhone link is different, maybe. iPad, okay. Give me one moment. All right, so this link should work. Let me know if it doesn't, but this should work. All right, so the next 2 clips that we have are related to the Appalachee school shooting that happened last week. I believe it was a week ago yesterday. I feel like it was the third day of school. Let's see. The dates all kind of run into each other. Yes, a week ago yesterday. It was September 5th. Give me 1 second, everybody. All right, sorry about that. My sister just called because there is a little kitty outside her house. She said she's going to try to pick it up. And I was like, what do you mean? I said, is it a kitten? She said, no. And I was like, well, how are you going to get it? She's like, I'm going to try to pick it up. It's looking at me. So I told her, if you need the trap, it's on the porch. So hopefully she will be able to figure it out. But if not, I may just have to pause again to get that to her. So as I was saying, the Appalachee school shooting was a week ago yesterday. So this first clip, when I saw this, I hadn't realized that Mason Schermerhorn had texted his mom from the bathroom before he was ultimately killed. And so that tells me, and again, this is just an assumption on my part, but that leads me to believe that either Cole had left the weapon in the bathroom, and that's where he first started his rampage, or that's where he chose to go first because the doors weren't locked. That's what I'm assuming, because the classroom doors, just from students who were there, other witnesses, especially this one girl had said the doors lock automatically. And so he wouldn't have necessarily been able to get into a classroom unless someone let him in. So that's why I'm thinking that either the weapon was in the bathroom or that's where he went first because it wasn't secure.
The GBI has arrested Colin Gray, age 54, in connection to the shooting here at Appalachee High School. Colin is Colt Gray's father that was arrested yesterday.
The father of the suspected school shooter in Winder, Georgia, now arrested. And today, 14-year-old Colt Gray is set to face the judge. This is the National Desk, America's News Now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jan Jeffcoat. It is Friday, September 6th. Police announcing the serious charges last night linking that parent to the murders investigators say his son committed. And those charges do come one day after the FBI raided the family's home, and it was not the first time they had been there. Angela Brown is at the live desk with the latest on the investigation. And Angela, the father charged with more than a dozen felonies, and now the son's going to face the judge for the first time today.
Yeah, we're going to see him for the first time in court very soon now. Georgia's school shooting suspect Colt Gray will make his first virtual court appearance around 8:30 a.m. Central Time. He's charged with 4 counts of felony murder, which carries a minimum life sentence or the maximum death by lethal injection. According to police, during questioning, he admitted to committing the shooting. His father was also arrested for knowingly allowing his son back here to have a weapon. He told investigators he bought the rifle used in the attack as a Christmas present for his son. He's charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter.
And that, to me, in itself, knowing that the FBI had been at your home 7 months prior, about a threat made on Discord about a school shooting that would occur in 2 to 3 years. The FBI comes to your home. The FBI had the report. They let local law enforcement know, and local law enforcement went to the home. And then to buy your son this as a gift, knowing potentially that it would not be a good idea, yet still doing so. Okay, note to self. Let me. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, actually, you know what? I think I screwed that up. Let me try once more. I think I screwed it up. All right, try this one, note to self. I think I accidentally took out the word membership.
Slaughter, here's the list right back here. 2 counts of second-degree murder and 8 counts of cruelty to children. In Georgia, second-degree murder is punishable by 10 to 30 years in prison. This morning, we have newly released audio from the interview with investigators last year after anonymous tips about his son making online threats to commit a school shooting.
Do you have weapons in the house?
I do.
Are they accessible to him?
They are. I mean, there's nothing loaded, but they are.
Okay, so this was on May 21st, 2023. So exactly 7 months later, his son was gifted a weapon.
They are down. Okay. We do a lot of shooting. We do a lot of deer hunting. He shot his first deer this year.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so like I'm pretty much in shock, to be honest with you.
Well,
I'm a little pissed off, to be even really honest with you, if that is what was said.
And so my question to Mr. Gray would be, if I mean, he was a little pissed off. I mean, I would be a lot pissed off if that was my kid. In either case, if you were upset about, you know, if that's what was said, why would you take a chance?
Well, the community grieving together Thursday afternoon at a vigil to honor the 4 lives taken. The 2 14-year-old students were killed and 2 teachers' lives gone far too soon. Mason Schermerhorn, who texted his mother from the restroom moments before his life was taken. Christian Angelo, described by family members as a free spirit, sweet and caring. You have Richard Aspinwall, a math teacher, a football coach. You have Christina Ermy, also a math teacher. 8 other students and another teacher were also hurt. Now, during a search of the suspect's home, authorities also found documents they believe were written by the team that reference past school shootings. Now, we are keeping an eye on the latest coming out of Georgia right here at the Live Desk and online all the time at thenationaldesk.com.
All right. And I just, just that mom, Mason's mom, getting that text message. I can't even fathom. So this next clip is the sheriff giving a few new details in regards to the facts. He talks about how long it took, things like that. And this was hard to hear.
Tonight, some chilling new details in the deadly shooting inside Appalachee High School. The Barrow County Sheriff's Office is saying the shooting lasted nearly a minute, and every second was captured by school cameras.
We interviewed the sheriff for the first time since the shooting. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn joining us live now from the sheriff's office in Winder. Cody?
Jennifer and Jonathan, Sheriff Judge Smith says this tragedy unfolded in roughly 52 seconds and explains Colt Gray didn't break from his routine because he really didn't have one, considering He had just started at Appalachee High School 3 days prior to this.
Wow. So I guess that's, 14, I think that's 9th grade. So he had started 3 days before this. Unreal.
Shooting.
Colt was a bus rider.
Barrow County Sheriff Judd Smith says Colt Gray walked out of his home Wednesday morning, September 4th, with a plan.
I think it was cold and calculated.
Armed with an AR-style weapon, authorities say his father bought legally.
He got on the bus with a backpack. We believe he had concealed the firearm in the backpack. We know that he concealed it with some sort of something that he had wrapped around it, as if it was a project, a school project, if you will.
Interesting. So I just want to rewind that a little.
With a plan.
I think it was cold and calculated.
Armed with an AR-style weapon, authorities say his father bought legally.
He got on the bus with a backpack. We believe he had concealed the firearm in the backpack. We know that he concealed it with some sort of something that he had wrapped around it, as if it was a project, a school project, if you will.
I was going to say, because a backpack, my book bag is, I think, a little bit bigger than, standard size ones, but for something like that, so to deliberately cover it up in a way that it would look like a school project, that shows intent.
Well, he had obviously stored magazines and rounds in that backpack with it as well.
Once at Appalachee High School.
Got off the bus, came into school, and blended in like every other student. He kept the backpack with him at all times.
Sometime after 9 a.m.
He asked to leave the classroom and go up front to see a counselor.
His alleged plan now set into motion.
We know that he entered a bathroom, and he stayed in the bathroom for
He took his
several
backpack
minutes.
with him?
Mm-hmm. Which is not unusual for a student to do if you go up front. Class were not far off from changing at that point.
Sheriff Smith says after several minutes, Colt walks out with a rifle.
He starts looking for soft targets, if you will, and that's when it started.
Within seconds, the first student is down. The sounds of gunshots ringing out, sending 2 teachers into the hallway to investigate.
They were going to try to, we feel like, fight him, try to get him to stop. But it didn't work out that way.
The teachers pulled back into the classroom. Sheriff Smith says Colt's final victim was also caught in the hall.
Come out of the bathroom, and just he just ambushed him. He didn't know.
In less than a minute, 4 killed, 7 shot. The alleged shooter taken alive.
And that question has been asked: why didn't they shoot him when he committed to putting the gun down and laying out in the prone position as he was told to do so? That threat ends. We put him in handcuffs, and the threat's over at that point.
Starting to get a better understanding.
And this may be, harsh, but I wouldn't give him, if he has a gun that he's aiming at somebody, I wouldn't give him the opportunity to put the gun down and get in a prone position. He has a weapon that he is using. Take him out. Take him out. Oh, note to self, that's so sweet. I appreciate that. You didn't have to do that though. Thank you for your help. I won't give up. I will find, if you email me, note to self, I will find that link for you. Hey Josh B, how are you? Yeah, I don't know why they say, I know why they say soft targets, but it's like when people say we're sitting ducks. That annoys me because most people aren't choosing to become victims.
Understanding of what unfolded in that high school on September 4th. Now, there's also been questions about Colt's mom calling the school that morning, voicing some concerns over alarming texts she and his dad received. Tonight, Sheriff Judd Smith confirms that call was made to the school and says as soon as they got the call, his SRO started investigating. And it was while they were investigating, literally, they heard those gunshots ring out in the hall. He's going to talk about that.
But, and I'm not doubting, you know, the resource officers, the school, etc. But it would be my understanding, being an educator, at least I would hope this is what would happen. If a parent called the school and said, my son, Cole Gray, you need to find him immediately because something is wrong. I would hope, especially as a teacher, if a parent called where I work and said that about a student, that administration would find that student immediately. Get them somewhere away from the rest of the student body. And based on what I've read, the phone call that mom made was nearly 30 minutes before the first gunshot rang out. 30 minutes. That's a long time. What is there to investigate? Get the kid out of class. Put him somewhere. And those are just my thoughts. That kid should not have had maybe 10 minutes. You have to find out where he is. You have to figure out what class he's in. Things like that. But that kid should have never been able to do what he did, in my opinion.
Timeline and tell us more detail tomorrow night at 11. Plus, he talks more about why Colt's dad is now sitting in a cell charged alongside his son. That interview coming up tomorrow night at 11. In Winder, Cody Alcorn, 11 Alive News.
Some disturbing new information tonight, Cody. Thank you. Well, 14-year-old Colt Gray is in custody at the Gainesville Regional Youth Detention Center facing 4 counts of felony murder. His father, Colin Gray, behind bars in Barrow County, accused of knowingly providing the gun to his son. The next step in the case here is a grand jury hearing set for October 17th. The district attorney for the Piedmont Judicial Circuit says he expects Colt Gray to face more charges.
Okay, so give me 1 second. All right, so that is what I have in regards to the Appalachee school shooting. I am hoping that during one of my lives that we watch the whole interview between law enforcement and Colin Gray back in May, because to me it's very interesting. It's very interesting. And watching Colt during that questioning, in my opinion, something was amiss. And it could be possibly because, you know, I've already been influenced by what happened, but just being able to read student behavior, he was acting, in my opinion, he thought he had been gotten. He thought he was found out. But again, that's just my opinion. Thanks, Josh B. This is more material I'd rather hear and learn about. So grateful from a break from one particular case. Well, and sadly, that case has gotten lost in the weeds. I mean, that boy is no longer the focus. It's everything else. And I appreciate that. I know, that's what I'm saying, Josh. I mean, unless, I don't think there's any way they would hear those resource officers coming. Maybe he saw them coming And before they could get close enough, that's when he surrendered. But I'm just saying, if he still had that weapon, they should have taken him out. And I know it's harsh to say because he's a 14-year-old, but guess what? He killed 4 people and he injured 9 others. I have no sympathy for someone who can do that. So the next updates we have are in relation to this mother, if you want to call her that, who deliberately, after this clip, she deliberately pushed her 1-year-old baby out of the car. And when you hear why, I mean, there's no reason why you should be pushing a 1-year-old out of your car. Your 1-year-old should be in child safety restraints so that they don't get injured. Not for this mom. Not for this mom. Oh, let me get back over on here. It's complicated, but I've recently read that when teens who plan things like this are stopped, they never attempt it again. But like I said, the studies vary wildly. The 30-minute warning, ugh. I mean, stopped before they carry through. Right, and I feel like, and I'm curious too. I have to listen. There's a longer news clip with the mom. Maybe we will do, because there is a bunch of clips that we haven't gotten to in relation to the Appalachee school shooting. I'm curious what exactly made his mom concerned enough to call the school and say, this is an emergency. This is an emergency. You need to find my son. She knew something, saw something, read something, heard something. I have read that he had a notebook. He was, I don't want to say obsessed, but he was highly influenced by Nicholas Cruz, who was the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooter. Now it seems like there were so many warning signs, and this still happened. Yes, Josh B. She pushed her baby out of the car.
We begin with a follow-up on a story we first brought to you last week after witnesses say they saw a woman throw her 1-year-old child out of a moving car. Today, that mother appeared before a judge.
Yeah, we're also learning what police say happened in the car.
Josh, baby is okay. Baby is okay. So we had first watched this. I think it was this past weekend. I had talked about this story, and the baby was found by. Can you guys hear that in the background? I feel like I'm yelling because there's a lot of noise outside. Oh my gosh, it's so loud. So the baby initially, when you see the video, the baby looks limp, and the baby was brought to the hospital. Well, actually, the baby wasn't immediately brought to the hospital because the mom who threw her out of the car came back, like ripped her out of the witness's arms that saved the baby out of the road, and they were found a couple of days later. But baby is okay. Baby is okay, and the last that we knew was with the grandmother. Can you hear it? Sinner, can you hear that? I feel like it's super loud. It should be just at this around 10 is when it gets like super loud.
before the young girl was picked up by a Good Samaritan. NBC6's Lena Salzbank has the new details from court.
It's really just heartbreaking. The more details we learn about this case, that woman was arrested on Friday in Miramar and then extradited back here to Miami-Dade. She faces charges of child abuse and child neglect.
Okay, so I was correct. It was child abuse and child neglect. Nothing about attempted murder, nothing about assault.
Tashay Chelsea Mills stood before a judge Wednesday just 5 days after law enforcement issued a be on the lookout for the 29-year-old and her 1-year-old child.
Charge you with 2 counts of one count of child abuse, no great bodily harm, and 1 count of child neglect.
The Florida Missing Child Alert was issued after witnesses say they saw Mills toss a 1-year-old out of a moving car on Northwest.
And so here you can see the witness has the baby, and the baby does appear to be limp, at least in my opinion. She could be in shock. I mean, she was just tossed out of a car on purpose.
West 37th Avenue and Northwest 54th Street in Hialeah last Thursday.
Child had gravel on her face and I think blood on her head.
According to the arrest warrant, a witness.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm just going to back that up a little bit. And I will try to get these documents as well, because I would like to read through, actually. So I'm going to actually read through this. So it says, the Hialeah Police Department is investigating an incident involving Miss Tashay C. Mills, who was operating a vehicle with her 1-year-old child as a passenger. During the incident, the child reportedly fell out of the moving vehicle. A concerned witness who observed the child alone, crying and appearing injured, immediately intervened by securing the child and contacting law enforcement for assistance. While the witness was on the phone with authorities, Miss Mills returned to the scene, forcibly took the child from the witness, and left without providing any further information. So that's what we had seen in a lot of the articles that we had read last week.
Arrest warrant, a witness who was in the passenger seat at the time of the incident told detectives this all happened after the baby spilled shampoo in the back seat of the car.
Hear that? Hear that? So no reason anyone should be opening a door and pushing a child into the roadway. But this little baby, this 1-year-old baby, spilt shampoo.
So she pushed the victim out of the car because she spilled shampoo in the car. And that's after hitting her.
The report says when the baby cried, Mills got angry, opened the door, and pushed her out.
Hey, are you?
Like, that just gives me chills, because this little baby, oh, 1 second, Sinner. It's not on my page. Hang on a second. Give me a second. I can find it. Oh, it's not on my page. Okay. I don't have a Cash App link, but if you do have Cash App and you just do the $sign Emmy Headstone, that's me. I know, Josh B. I love this judge. And she's done a lot of cases, and I agree. She's not going to mess around. So this woman, and she is a felon. She is a felon, and oh, Josh, that is so sweet. That is so kind. You did not have to do that, but I did. Actually, I don't know what's going on with my internet. I did get it. I don't know if I can heart it yet or not. Let me see. There we go. Okay, I got it. Thank you so much. That's really kind. Hey, Pooks. So I still can't get over the fact that the little girl not even a little girl, she's a baby. She's a 1-year-old. She spills shampoo. This woman, who's already a felon, gets mad, yells at the little girl. The little girl starts crying, which is expected. So she opens the door and pushes her out, which tells me that there was someone else in the car. So I don't know if the mom and the baby were in the back seat, or if the mom was driving, the baby was in the passenger seat, and then the witness was in the back. It's unclear. Either way, this woman pushed her baby out of the car on purpose for spilling shampoo. So this week in school, I'm sure everyone has had a pen explode at one point in their life. Well, this week, a student had a pen and it exploded. And it didn't just explode a little bit, it exploded a lot. And on newly waxed floors, of course. And that ink is not. We tried mopping, we tried everything we could. We couldn't get it clean. So, the maintenance staff is going to have to try to do something. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything unless they completely strip the floor and then just leave it like that until they wax again over the summer. But things happen. And this little girl, why was she even near the shampoo to even be to spill it? I don't understand these people. I really don't. I know. Oh, you do have one on your page, Sinner? See, I don't even have my Cash App on my page. I don't even have my Amazon list. Oh, no, I do have my kitten list, but I only have Venmo, which I don't really use. And yeah, just my wish list and Venmo. I don't know where my Cash App went.
Angry, opened the door and pushed her out.
Hey, are you okay? It's okay. I'm going to sit down. Come here. Oh, my God.
As witnesses rushed to help the child, moments later, 2 cars pulled up.
Right, and now this is where you're going to see the mom comes back and rips this baby out of
And surveillance video shows Mills returning to the scene, violently taking the child back from the woman who was trying to help.
Hey, oh, my God. I need you guys to come.
Detectives say they tried to get Mills to return to the scene and get the child medical attention, but she failed to do so.
The judge did give Mills bond, and she will be allowed to get out of jail. However, she is ordered to stay away from her child. For now, reporting in Miami-Dade, Lena Salzbank, NBC6 News.
So she did get bond, but she won't be able to be near her child, which let's hope that doesn't happen, because she should never be able to be around her baby again. So this next clip is the same story, but we have the Good Samaritan who saw the baby and got her to safety, tells her, her story. I know Sunnyside. I mean, this woman is a disgrace. A disgrace. Hey, Lisa. Didn't I say hi to you before? I thought I did. I'm sorry. Oh, there you are. Hey, everyone. I'm at work but listening. I must have missed it.
And only on Local 10 tonight, we're hearing from the Good Samaritan who jumped in to save a toddler after she fell out of a car, and that baby's mother then yanking her out of her arms. Local 10's Christian De La Rosa has the exclusive now from Hialeah.
This woman tells us she found the baby bloody and covered in gravel. She's speaking to us. She doesn't want to share her.
Oh my God. So that isn't okay. So that's not like, I don't even want to think. I'm not even going to say it because I cannot.
Her name, but can you imagine if she hadn't been there at the right place at the right time?
Hey, are you okay? It's okay. I'm gonna sit down. Come here.
Everything just happened so quickly. I guess God was on our side that night.
Speaking to Local 10 News, the Good Samaritan who may have saved a baby girl's life in Hialeah.
She was bleeding. She was really hurt. She was very out of it.
Hello, I need you to come. I need you to come.
The woman calling 911 after picking up the small child off the ground near Northwest 54th Street and 37th Avenue in Hialeah Thursday. Police say the 1-year-old came out of a moving car. The mother later shows up.
That is my baby. Okay, but she, oh my God, I need you guys to come.
The first thing I thought that was going to come out of her mouth was, oh my God, my baby.
One count of child abuse. The baby's mother, 29-year-old Tashay Mills, in court Wednesday.
One count of child neglect.
Authorities accusing Mills of doing something unthinkable.
So she pushed the victim out of the car because she spilled shampoo in the car.
Child neglect, child abuse, hurting kids when they don't know any better. It's sad. Like, kids don't deserve that. They don't know any better.
So the baby is under the care of the state as far as the mother. If and when she's able to bond out of jail, the judge has ordered no contact with her child. Reporting in Hialeah, I'm Christian De La Rosa, Local 10 News.
And, you know, I think of another creator who lives not necessarily close to Hialeah, but who, you know, prides herself on being a child advocate. This is the type of case I would love to see that creator get into, because this woman did what she did. Not allegedly. That baby ended up on the road somehow. The baby didn't do it themselves. Herself, I should say. And I am going to look, I'm going to get court records to see like the whole arrest warrant. All right. Okay, so this next story, I just do want to give a disclaimer. It is, it could be triggering for some. It is about a teen who took their own life after they had been harassed and bullied at school. And two of their friends speak about them. So just do know that viewer discretion is advised. And again, I apologize for if you hear the noise outside. I wasn't aware there was going to be noise tonight outside. Okay. Oh, and I apologize. It was her brother and best friend. I thought they were two friends, but one of them is her brother. And an 8th grader. So 13 years old, maybe 12, depending on what time of year.
Students across Wisconsin are back at school. And unfortunately for a lot of those young people, it means bullying and mental health emergencies. One young girl in Jefferson County took her own life on the 3rd day of school.
CBS 58's AJ Bayatpour was in Watertown, where the community is trying to support a family that is now planning a funeral for their 13-year-old girl.
Yeah. Happy birthday to you.
For the family of Haley Gabrielson, the past 5 days.
Oh my gosh, what a gorgeous girl. Haley Gabrielson.
It's been tough. Like, I gotta say, really tough.
Haley's older brother, Jordan, says last Thursday, the school resource officer took he and his younger brother out of class. They were told they had to go home.
My dad told me that my sister committed suicide. I broke down.
And I'm hoping that this brother wanted to speak to the media, because if this news station went to the school to talk to this boy and he chose to do it, I just feel like this is a really raw moment for him, and for the media to go to I mean, they're at the middle school, so maybe it was a vigil, maybe it was something like that. But I just feel like, I don't know, like, give people some grace. Give people some time.
At first I was like, it can't be true.
It was true. Haley had taken her own life on the third day of her 8th grade year.
She would definitely be my best friend.
Ava Thrasher, also 13, did not see Haley as often after moving to Kenosha, but both she and Jordan say Haley did not hide her emotions. Because of that, they say people would purposely push her buttons.
They definitely tried getting a reaction out of her. I think that they wanted to do it to make her upset and make her feel unwelcomed.
I guess some people think it's funny when you pick on someone and their temper gets like they have a big temper and they get angry quick.
Haley's death has shaken this town of about 23,000. Over the last few days, the Watertown community has rallied around the Gabrielsons. Schuetz on East Main has announced they're giving 100% of their profits this Saturday and Sunday to the family.
Even though I don't know the family, it's still in our hometown. This is part of the community. These are people who support me. And I think in that support, and that's it, I feel a responsibility to also support them as well.
After losing someone to suicide, people will naturally wonder if there's something they could have done differently.
Oh, that's hard to think about. It's like, I try to show her love. Like, I try to convince her not everyone hates her.
I wish I could have found her number and so I could talk to her and figure out what she was going through and see like how she was feeling.
Birthday, dear Haley.
Those closest to Haley have a message for any young person who might be having similar thoughts.
If you're ever going through a super hard time, like really hard, you should always tell it a trusted adult.
It doesn't need to be your mom or dad. It can be like your teacher. It can be a friend. And like, it can be anyone. Like, someone will help you. I promise you.
Haley's funeral will happen on Friday. The Watertown School District told us in a statement it is deeply saddened by Haley's death, and it reminds any other students struggling with grief or any other challenges to reach out to the district's mental health coordinator.
Yeah, please reach out if you are struggling. And I think it is a very, very scary and top of mind topic for parents, especially to AJ. Any advice there? Did you pick up anything on what parents should do and how they talk to kids?
Yeah, it was interesting talking to Porfirio, the business owner who's doing the charity event over the weekend to raise money for the family. And he talked about how, he may not have had a connection to the family, but I think anyone with kids in their life, this serves as a reminder to just have a conversation, just a reminder to be very mindful, because just like Ava said, you may not realize it, but something that you say can be very hurtful. And a lot of young people especially need to hear that message again and again.
Yeah. Very difficult, but very important thing to discuss. AJ, thank you. Well, and if you or someone close to you is having suicidal thoughts and needs help and support, you can call or text the National Suicide and Crisis Hotline at 988 at any time of the day or night. The calling is free and confidential, and there will always be someone there to talk. In an emergency situation, call 911.
All right, and I did find the GoFundMe for Haley, so I just wanted to show everyone this, and I did share the link in chat. Like 13. So her service will be on September 30th. I did notice that GoFundMe is doing this type of thing now. Maybe they always have and I just didn't notice, but they do have where they have the date of service for people to know. So it says, "Hi, my name is Alicia, and I'm raising funds to help my dear friends Andy and Ashley Gabrielson to lay their beautiful daughter to rest and be able to give her a proper funeral and burial. Update. We just want to say thank you from the bottoms of our hearts for the outpouring love from the community. Schuetz on East Main Street in Watertown will be donating all sales Saturday and Sunday to this family. Funeral arrangements will also be posted once we know details for those who want to attend. We have shirts and bears being made as well as card decals. Proceeds go to the family. Haley was a beautiful 13-year-old girl who sadly passed away unexpectedly on September 5th. She attended Riverside Middle School for 2 years, as well as eCampus. Haley will always be remembered as a beautiful soul with a smile that could light up the room. She had a magnetic personality, and everyone who knew her loved her. She loved to skate, craft, and spend time with her family. She will be deeply missed by those who loved her. If you can find it in your heart to donate, please do so. If you can't, sharing this would be amazing to help relieve the financial burden of her parents. Please talk to your children about mental health and if they are struggling. This was a tragic event no parent should ever have to endure. And then they had, her information there. Hey, Coddle, how are you? Georgia. Let me know if it came through. Oh my gosh, Georgia, that is not necessary. I just saw my notification. You are too kind. I wish there was a different emoji than just a heart. Like, I wish there was, there's other emojis, but I don't think there's one to express how really nice that was. But I did get it. I just hearted it. That's really, really sweet. And the kittens will also appreciate it. Oh boy. So just a little update on the kittens. Well, we're mid-story. My sister just texted me and she said, I thought it was the baby, but I'm pretty sure I just saw the mommy. She believes they live under her neighbor's porch. She said, I'm going back around because I think the mommy cat might have had a collar. And if that's the case, she's somebody's cat. Well, it's my philosophy, because my sister also lives off a highway. If you have animals and you live on a highway, they shouldn't be outside. Nor should they be having babies outside. So, collar or not, if your cat is outside and they're near the highway, I'm taking your cat. Taking your cat. Give me one just a second. I just want to text her back. And who knows? People, they may have just ditched this cat because she was pregnant. People do it all the time. It drives me up the wall because it's so inexpensive now to have your pets spayed and neutered. It makes me so angry. Okay. Pookie, did you see my comment? I thought I saw all your comments. Hold on, let me make sure I was on all messages. Pookie. So I saw you say hey. I saw you say hi to Lisa, or say Lisa, me too. And then that's all I saw you say. So Pookie, I only saw your 2 comments from you. Aw, Josh, that's so sweet too. I have 6. I rescued and bottle fed. Bottle feeders are really tough. Bottle feeders are really tough as well. And I'm just going to take that down for a second. I had bottle feeders once, and thank goodness it was over the summer. And my sister she lived, she wasn't as close as she is now. And so thankfully she was visiting 4th of July weekend, and she helped me get into a routine with these kittens because it was so overwhelming. But they were super cute too. How much is spaying and neutering? So I know our rescue charges $140, and that includes spay, rabies, flea meds, dewormer. First is temper, or no, it doesn't include rabies. Scratch that. It doesn't include rabies because they're too little usually. Distemper is the other thing. And then if you go through the SPCA, it may be a little bit more, but when I went, I would say 10 years ago, so it might have gone up a little bit. It was about $180. And then if you wanted, and we also include microchip. I just thought of that. If you wanted to microchip, you wanted other things, it would go up, but I mean, it's at most $200. Which I understand is a lot of money for some people, but if you're going to have animals, you need to be responsible because having, kittens, that costs a lot of money too. Oh, it was before that, Pookie, when you said hi? Type it again. I didn't see it. Yeah, so maybe some comments aren't posting. Oh, Josh, the one outside I'm trying to catch is wild. She's a farm cat. Okay, so we have an kitten update from my sister. So she went back around and doesn't see any. I'll look tomorrow. She thinks she knows where they're at. She said the bigger cat looks like, so she has a stray, a fuzzy. I'll have to post a picture of him. She's named him Oscar. He's a stray outside, and he hangs out on her back patio. He sleeps there a lot. Today he was sleeping on top of her grill. And she said that the bigger cat looks like Oscar's sister. So she was born this year. So here it is, a 1-year-old cat having babies. Makes sense. So that's why she hasn't seen her in a while, is because she was having babies. And the babies are probably, my sister said they looked about 2 months old, which they're probably, I would say they're actually probably not 2 months old. They're probably 6 weeks old. That's why she just saw them, because they start venturing out around 6 to 7 weeks. Oh my gosh. I'll have to figure that out this weekend. I guess we'll have a new project. Hey, Kit, how are you? I've been watching your stuff as I can. I've been so busy. I have so much to catch up on, and there's not enough, hours in the day during the week. So the last story, I did have 2 others, but I think because we're talking about cats, I'm going to save the other 2 I had, and we're going to go right to the baby porcupine. And Sinner, if you could, I did share the link with you. If you can just drop their link for me, or I can go in and check it out. Okay, so this is a video that I had seen, excuse me, in my feed. It just showed up. So I'm like, oh, what is this? So I went to check it out, and it was this little baby porcupine. And the title was Baby Porcupine Having a Tantrum. So I'm like, what is happening here with this little baby porcupine? And it is super cute, super cute. I thought about burning my new deck down for real. Thank you, Sinner. Thank you. So this little porcupine, so this channel, he has a ton of porcupines around. And so I watched a few of his videos and they're so cute. Like, I just love animals, like any animal. And this little baby is so cute. And the mommy's eating and the baby's like, mommy, mommy, mommy. And so the baby gets mad and he ends up falling off this. I mean, I had said deck, but it's me. I mean, it is pretty high for a baby, but then the baby's in the grass and you'll see. It's super cute. So the name of the channel is, give me 1 second. Because it's not like a porcupine name. It's Unhinged Menagerie. Unhinged Menagerie. And it's like, he's got other videos, but most of it is about porcupines. And so the name of this one is Angry Baby Porcupine Throws Tantrum, Falls Off Deck. So cute. Oh, I did see that pop through, Kit. I will definitely watch that. Cute. And so here's Mama is just getting a little snack, and baby's like, what about me? What about me? You can't. And the thing is, like, you just want to snuggle him, but you can't because he has quills and they'll stick you. And so Mom, I don't think Mom realized yet, but here's the baby. And he's like, hey. And then Mommy is like, uh-oh, what happened, baby? So she comes over. And this part, so they do go, I'm guessing it's the guy who has the channel. He goes and picks up the porcupine and helps him back up. And his little sound is so cute. Look at him, little.
Come on, you little monster. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on.
And just know that the porcupine is not being injured. It sounds like he's being injured, but he's not. He's not being injured. He's just scared.
Up we go. Come here. Sorry. Come on. You're okay. You're okay. I'm sorry, Spike. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's okay. Okay. Oh, she's biting. I'm sorry. Here you go.
He's so freaking cute. Like, look at him. He looks like a little dust ball. And Mama is just, they're such pretty animals.
You're okay. He's like,
Mama's like, thank you for getting my baby.
Look, cool.
And look, that baby did quill him.
Never.
She didn't like me picking her up. Now she's gonna go torture her mother.
I know, it's like Raccoon Saloon. Maybe we'll watch a raccoon video too. I've been, you know, I got to get back into my raccoon saloon, but that's what this reminds me of, because they feed the porcupines and they have different videos. They have names for some of them.
Hey, baby. Buddy.
Oh, look, the sign says go away. That's funny. He's just... He's so cute. He's so cute. All right, so again, that was Unhinged Menagerie. And so definitely give a like, go check them out. Sub if you want to see more porcupines. Here's the site, just so that you can kind of see. So Quilbert, they've got baby porcupine nursing from 2 different moms. Okay, baby was like, I'm gonna get 2 snacks today. And there was one I saw. Oh no, not that one. There was one where like one of the porcupines had a hat on because it was winter time. It was so cute. But I mean, here's a bunny. But most of it is the porcupines. Oh, here's an injured chipmunk they saved. How sweet. So just a really good channel. Oh, what is this? Chonkers doesn't want pizza. Okay, we got to watch this one.
Chonkers.
So again, this is Unhinged Menagerie.
Her the car engine.
Oh my God, look
Hi,
at that
buddy.
little house.
I know, buddy. Hi, Chonkers. How you doing?
Oh my gosh, Chonkers. He comes right
Hi,
to
buddy.
him. Oh
How
my
you doing, buddy?
gosh.
Yeah, hi. Hi, buddy.
Oh
Hi, buddy.
my God.
How you doing?
How cute.
Yeah, that's my cell phone. Hey, buddy. Hi, how you doing? It's my hand. Coming in, buddy? You want some peanuts? Let's go get some peanuts, buddy. Yeah, come on.
Okay, so super cute. Let me just see. Look at their little house. I need something for that. Aw, look at him. Such a sweetie. Such a sweetie. All right, so I did find, we're going to watch just a little bit of a video from Raccoon Saloon, and then we'll wrap things up. Let's see. Do they have a shorter one? A lot of their videos have been a little bit longer because they have, their highlights and let's see. Do that one because that was from today. Oh, here we go. Let's do this one. I'll just find we'll just watch a little part of it. Okay. The best is when they're playing with the tire swing. None of your comments are yeah, I'm seeing, I saw Sinner, I saw you post Kit's link to the short. Oh, hey, Megs. Oh, wait, did I say hi to you, Megs? I feel like I did, but if I didn't, hi again. Okay, so this is Raccoon Saloon, and I will get their link to post as well. Hey, Cocoa Puff. Oh my God, that swing is like, oh no. So this season at Raccoon Saloon, they have so many babies. So many babies this season. Oh. Oh, and there's the little skunk. The skunks have multiplied as well. Lots of skunks this season. Oh boy. Look at them, so cute. Oh my gosh, they're not posting, Sinner. Yeah, winter. Actually, let me see if I can. I think they have so this is one of, I think this is the only channel I actually pay for a membership for is Raccoon Saloon. So when I first started watching them, it was, I think it was like September or October 2022. So about 2 years ago. And they had 7,000 subs, maybe just a little over 7,000 subs. And they are now up to just over 24,000. So they have grown. Oh, here, let's do this swinging raccoon. So you can see, I mean, they keep it really clean. They go in, it's, his name is Mike, and he and his sister go in, they clean up, they give the raccoons food. One of the, there was a really bad storm this summer, and lightning, I don't know if it was lightning had struck the tree or the wind had blown the tree, like a branch off, something like that. And one of the raccoon nests, or their den, had gotten destroyed. So all of the raccoons had fallen out of the tree, and mom was able to get all the babies, but one of them she left behind. So they actually, his name is Lucky, and they nursed Michelle. That's her name. So Mike and Michelle. Michelle was nursing the baby raccoon, and they started introducing him to the other raccoons. And now he is fully a part of Raccoon Saloon. He made some friends, and he's just hanging out. And so, Kit, this is an abandoned house. It's an abandoned hunting. It was like a hunting type thing. The calendar on the wall said 1970 something. And so these raccoons started, they kind of took over the house, and now it's just Raccoon Saloon. So, the tire swing isn't there yet, so he must swing on. This is a treat ball that they have hanging. They're so cute. There he goes. So they're swinging raccoon. Oh my gosh, so stinking cute. Let me see. So they do have, last year, they had, or I should say not this past spring, the spring prior, they had an albino raccoon born. They named him Butter. Or actually, there were two. There was Butter and Blondie. I think it was Blondie. One of them, for no apparent reason, passed away. They found her, something had happened. So now there's Butter. I believe Butter's still around, and Winter. Winter is also an albino, and they do have a lot of live cams. When I first started watching, they had the living room cam, but now they have over, I didn't even realize there was this many. 4, 8, 12, 16, 22. 22 cameras. I thought maybe they would play it, but so I am a member, so I can see, the multi-view. So that's what I do. I'll go to the multi-view, see where the raccoons are, and then that's the camera that I choose. Oh, here's one. Let's go. Let's see. That's the living room. Yep. So here's the little raccoon. So they have done so much, and this is why I do not mind. I do the full membership because they do so much for these raccoons. You can see how much they've added since that video with the raccoon swinging on the treat ball. They have a tire swing now. They have this slide, so they don't have to, walk down the steps and around. Heated water bowls in the winter. it's just, they've done so much for this. And what I will do before we go is there is a video that they did. I think it's the oldest one or not. Okay, so here's the house tour. I'm not going to play it, but I will. Oh, wait, I can do. Here we go. Share, copy. I know, right? Isn't that music for that swing so funny? Aw. My 8-year-old grandson hand-felled a raccoon, freaked me out. I had a bad experience with raccoons when I was younger, and now I'm highly afraid of them. So that is the link. Definitely check it out. It's a really interesting house tour. And I just saw a video. Oh, here, time lapse. So 4 years, when was this? Okay, so 2019 is when they first started their channel. I started watching around September, October 2022. So it had been 3 years, and they've just exploded the past few years. The time lapse. This is what I want. I wanted to just show this quick, and then we'll wrap it up. I could watch this all day. I mean, look at this. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. Oh, no, wait, that's not a bowl. Bowl. Tons of bowls. And you can see it was pretty empty when they first started. They've added so many things for the raccoons. Oh, here we go. Here they come. Oh, little babies. I mean, just so freaking cute. So this, if you ever, you ever need to relax, that's what I do. I watch the raccoons. And I just saw, let me just go back. So I did see that the man that opened fire on the interstate in Kentucky has yet to be located. He is still at large, which I hope they get him soon. All right. Well, thanks everybody for being here. He was still sitting on the deck. Oh my gosh. What is his name? James Blackwell? I think that's him. I found him. Oh, Blackwood. So it's James Blackwood. I thought it was Blackwell. And I'll drop his link too if you like. He has raccoon. His page is James Blackwood, Raccoon Whisperer. And he also has, we actually have watched him before on here when there was the raccoons on the porch, and he was giving them little hot dogs and cookies or something. I can't remember exactly, but you are like raccoons as I am to bees. Throw snakes in my house all day. Oh yeah, I mean, I would be scared of bees too if you're allergic, for sure. No snakes, thank you. But watching the raccoons, they act a lot like cats. Just their behaviors, their interactions, they just remind me of cats. All right. Well, that was cool. We should do, I could do a live all about like different animal YouTube channels. Like I could just watch it all the time. I am planning on going live tomorrow and Sunday at some point, just because the week is really tough. It's I get home and I'm exhausted. Mentally exhausted, not necessarily physically, but emotionally exhausted, mentally exhausted. So, probably one of them will probably be solely updates on the Appalachee school shooting, and then another one will be, just updates if there are any, or just all new case stories, because I just keep adding stuff to my watch later, and it's just getting bigger and, bigger and bigger. And then the stories get kind of old and not really relevant, so to speak. Chimp crazy? I have not. Oh, really, Josh? I set my notifications. I've been missing all your lives. YouTube is weird. It is weird. What was it? The other day it was doing something and I was like, YouTube is being annoying. I'm done. Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, I'll actually, let me write that down because I'll forget. Chimp crazy. All right, everyone. Well, thanks again. And I do want to thank Note to Self again. If Note to Self is still here, you are too kind. Josh, thank you so much for your Cash App, and also Georgia Peach. Very appreciated. And I feel like I'm forgetting someone. But thank you everyone who, donated to the kittens. They will appreciate it. And one last story before we go. I could tell stories all day. With Eichel and Aura, who are the kittens that I rescued this past April. They are the 2 kittens left. Eichel is he's getting much more, he's getting better with just hanging out with us in the room. I still can't touch him, but the only time I can touch him is if I'm giving him his squeeze up treats, the liquid treats, and I like take my finger and just scratch the top of his head, and then he's like backing up. But the mama cat has been coming out and just hanging out with us too. And today she wouldn't let me touch her, but she was within a foot. She was probably a foot from me. So I was like, oh my gosh, I really hope that she comes around, because she is an absolutely gorgeous cat. And I do have new pics, so I will post those tonight. I'll remember to post those tonight, because everything that, all of the gifts and contributions here go directly back into the rescue and helping the fur babies, because it's not inexpensive to foster. So, and we run on donations. Oh, so it seems like comments. Okay, I don't know who this person is, but okay, thank you, whoever just did that. Excuse me. So thanks everybody for being here. It was, many of the stories were sad or angering, but we ended with a great note with baby porcupines and raccoons. So I hope everyone has a great night. And if I don't see you on these YouTube streets, I will see you all on the flip side.